I was just existing on the internet as one does, and I found this list on Goodreads, and it is called Mysteries New Mega Hits, Readers' 48 Favorite Whodunits of the Past 3 Years. So I figured that we would discuss this together. I've briefly glanced through this list to make sure I've read some of the books, but I haven't really spent much time looking at it. There's the little like cover picture, so I can see some books on there. I'm not surprised about a lot of them, but I think it'll be interesting to see everything that is on this list. I tend to read mysteries that are more a blend of mystery and thriller, but I do read some like more typical whodunit books, and I know this list has a combination of both. So let's look through this together. So we're talking about mysteries as a genre, the start of it, and what it's kind of turned into. So what I wanted to look for was how they came to the conclusion that these are readers' favorite whodunits of the past 3 years. Okay, the list below ranks in order the most popular mystery books of the past 3 years as determined by average star ratings, reader reviews, and members want to read shelves. I think it's interesting that want to read is included in it. I mean, I guess it does make it a popular book that people are wanting to get to. And I'm very curious how they did the reader review part of this. So there are 48 on this list. Okay, the first 6, The Housemaid by Freida McFadden. That is interesting that it's like the top one. Oh my god. Almost 1.5 million people have rated the book. I was not expecting that. Very interesting. I read this one and I gave it 4 stars, but like it being the top is shocking. And then we have The Last Thing He Told Me. I think I gave this book 2 stars. I found it very boring. And this one was a Reese's Book Club pick. I'm very curious to see if that impacts this list. Like, I know she's generally picking mysteries for her book club, and I guess other book clubs could have impacted this as well, but I don't think this one is worth the hype. The Maid, I think, was also a Reese's Book Club pick, and I enjoyed this one. I gave it 4 stars, but like I feel like probably barely 4 stars. Not really my favorite kind of story, but this one definitely feels more like a classic whodunit. This series is called Molly the Maid. Interesting. The Paris Apartment. I'm kind of surprised this one's on this list because I feel like a lot of people don't love this book. I did. I gave it 5 wonderful stars. I had a really fun time with it. It's like kind of a locked room mystery, but it's not really locked room. I just found this one to be so entertaining. So like I approve of this one on this list, but I'm still kind of surprised. None of This Is True is also not surprising at all to me. This was one of my favorite books of last year. I think this absolutely deserves all the hype that it's getting. I think it is done incredibly well. It's interesting, and I am happy that it's on this list. The Housemaid's Secret, I don't think it is deserving to be on this list. I understand that it's like it has 725,000 ratings. That's not including the want to read list. But it's just like a copy of the first book, so it doesn't really bring anything exciting to the genre. Okay, next, Never Lie. I have not read, but more Freida McFadden. I guess I'm not surprised after the popularity of her other one. People are like, let's read more from her because we like it. That has a very high average rating. Oh my gosh. Rock, Paper, Scissors. Another one that is so well loved. I don't like this book. I don't really love domestic thrillers that are this focused on a marriage and relationship issues. Like, it was just so annoying to me. So it was actually one of my least favorite books of the year that I read it. But so many people love this one, so not surprising. A Flicker in the Dark is interesting. I know Book of the Month had this. Book of the Month also had Rock, Paper, Scissors, and The Last Thing He Told Me, and The Maid, and The Paris Apartment, and None of This Is True. And then also the ones on Kindle Unlimited makes it easier for people to access. A Flicker in the Dark I enjoyed. I think this is getting turned into an HBO show, so I'm curious if that has anything to do with the popularity. I don't know if this was a Reese's Book Club pick. But I gave it 4 stars, which is exactly the average rating. So I don't know if that's the best mystery. Here's the thing. Even some of these books that I'm like, I like the book, is it the best mystery? I don't know. I'd also like to know your thoughts as we go through this, because some of these, just like even looking at specifically the push that I can see, I feel like that's not really a whodunit mystery. So, like, who compiled this list? Not to say I disagree with you, but I disagree with you. Local Woman Missing, I really enjoyed. I can't remember if I gave it 4 or 5 stars, but it is my favorite from this author. I've read a decent amount. I might have given it 4.5 stars. This one definitely does have a mystery kind of at the center of it, and it's more domestic, but it is like neighborhood drama, which I enjoyed. For being honest, I don't remember how it ends, but I think this one is worth your time. Wrong Place, Wrong Time, a recent book club pick, so not surprised it's on here. I do think it's 100% worth the hype. I gave this one 5 stars. I believe it was on my favorites list of the year that I read it. And there's time travel stuff in it, so like that is always a wonderful thing for me. And then the push, like I see based on numbers why it could end up here, but this is not a whodunit mystery. I disagree with that. And I think I gave it like 3.5 stars. This these are all very funny. So funny to me. Okay, I don't know many people that liked The Maidens. I mean, it has a pretty big readership because people love The Silent Patient. Like, that one has probably, I think, over 1 million readers. Like, it's very high. I don't know a lot of people that liked this one. I did. I gave it 4 stars. And it did have a mystery at the center of it. I have not read Apples Never Fall, but I'm not surprised that Leanne Moriarty is on this list. I read some of her books. They're very domestic stuff, so I don't usually read those. This one is funny to me. Riley Sager is so well read. Like, everybody that I know reads his books, even if they don't typically read thrillers. I wouldn't say that this one feels like a whodunit either. I liked this book. I gave it 4 stars. I had a fun time with it, but a lot of people hate this one because there's some stuff that comes kind of out of left field. Yeah, I wouldn't put this on a whodunit list. The only one left I would. I'm not surprised this one is on here. I think it's one of his best ones. Probably my 3rd favorite of his. I think this one is a good one for this list. It makes sense. I have not read The Waif Upstairs. I enjoyed another book that I read from this author, but I have no opinions on this one. The It Girl, I read it. Oh, okay, I do remember. Like, it left my brain. I think I gave it 3.5 stars. This one makes sense on this list. It's not, like, my top favorite or anything, but it definitely does have a mystery at the center. It works with The Maidens, too. I feel like they have similar vibes. First Lie Wins, a Reese's Book Club pick, so that makes sense that that's here. I think A Flicker in the Dark was, and then I don't know. But Book of the Month, I forgot to talk about that. Book of the Month did have all of these 6 except, well, actually they might have had Apples Never Fall, but I don't think so. And then Book of the Month had 4 of these 6 as well. First Lie Wins, All the Dangerous Things, The Night She Disappeared, and What Lies in the Woods. I read all of these except for the Frida McFadden. I don't know if I really plan on reading more. Also, I'm very curious because this one has 4.06 average rating and 530,000 reviews. And like, The House Across the Lake has less than 300,000 and 3.6 average rating. So why is that higher? Like, what determined that? I think that people just make things up on these lists. I didn't like First Lie Wins. I feel like I wanted it to go in a different direction, but I guess it makes sense on this list. All the Dangerous Things, I agree with. I think I give this one 4 stars. I liked it a little more than A Flicker in the Dark. I think this one had really great discussions. All Good People Here, I think was okay. There is some issues with this one with like it being too close to the true crime case that it is based on, but I generally enjoyed it. I'm so confused. Like, that has significantly worse ratings and readership than this one. So how is All Good People here above this one? The Night She Disappeared, 5 stars. This has a mystery at the center of it, and one of my favorite Lisa Jewels. I forget everything about this book. Oh, okay. Once again, this has such 135,114 ratings and a 3.96. And then 530,059 ratings and a 4.06. So why, not that I want the whole top of the list to be Frida McFadden for some reason, but like, this doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, What Lies in the Woods, I think, was average. I have no real thoughts about it, and I have not read The Inmate. So next, we have, I didn't really like The Golden Couple. Also, I DNF'd Daisy Darker. I thought it was so boring. I don't like Alice Feeney's writing, I think. But The Golden Couple is interesting. Here's the thing. Whenever I think of a whodunit, I feel like in my brain I'm automatically going to detectives and like amateur sleuths trying to solve the case. And some of these do fit that, and some of them, like, I understand why it's a whodunit. And then other ones I'm just like, this is weird. But I don't remember enough about The Golden Couple other than I did not really like it. Yeah, Daisy Darker, very popular. But once again, like, it doesn't have the highest average rating or readership, so I don't know. The Man Who Died Twice, I don't have this marked, but I have read this one. I give it 3.5 stars. Very stereotypical whodunit. I think this series makes a lot of sense to be on a list like this, as well as Finlay Donovan is killing it. I gave that one 5 stars, and I just thought it was a lot of fun. And then I have not read these other two. But, like, what is going on with these ratings? I do want to read Don't Let Her Stay. I have no real intentions of reading Billy Summers unless someone tells me that I need to read it. Okay, Bright Young Women. I gave this one 4.5 stars. I can't remember. This does not feel like a whodunit, so that's very interesting. I have not read Not a Happy Family. I guess the Book of Cold Cases does. There's some, like, real investigation, like, journalist stuff in it. And there's, like, a pretty strong mystery at the center of it. The Bullet That Missed is the third one in the Thursday Murder Club series. I have not read it, but I think it makes a lot of sense. And then Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone, I feel like also really feels like a standard whodunit mystery to me. In My Dreams I Hold a Knife, I gave 5 stars. I love Ashley Winstead. They are trying to solve a murder at the heart of this story. So I'm not surprised by this one on this list. Very happy about it. Okay, here's like the main part where I haven't read any of these. I have some questions for you. The Good Lie, The Soulmate, The Family Remains, and Notes on an Execution. Have not read any of those. I did read The Family Upstairs, and I gave it 4 stars, I believe. I think part of the problem, too, is in my head, a whodunit is, like, just a murder mystery, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. Things We Do in the Dark, I gave 4 stars. I would recommend this one. It's a little bit on the darker side, but I think it's an interesting one to have on this list. And then these are the last 6. The Overnight Guest, I gave 2 stars. I did not like it, but it has a pretty high average rating. I felt lied to by the synopsis. Killers of a Certain Age, does that? This one does not feel like a whodunit. I think this was a good time. I gave it 4 stars, and I would recommend it. But this feels kind of odd on this list. I have not read 20 Years Later. The Quiet Tenant, I disagree with this being on here. I don't think this is a whodunit. Like, I enjoyed this one. I give it 4 stars. But why is it on this list when I know that there are many books over this average rating with the average amount of ratings and the average rating, like star rating? I'm so confused. This one, I love this book. I highly recommend it. This one is more of a cozy mystery. It's very fun. And the plot, I don't have that as marked that I've read it, but I did read it. I read it so long ago, I don't remember what I rated it. I think 4 stars. This one's another one that, like, I guess it makes sense on this list. Let me look at the comments. Just people's thoughts on these books. Sorry, I'm just laughing at this person that doesn't want to be recommended Freedom McFadden books. I get it. Yeah, this is also an interesting point. Not sure what the cutoff date for the last 3 years is. The plot did come out in May of 2021. Also, the thought, like the question of there being way more women authors on this list versus men, like I feel like I just see that in publishing in general. A lot of the thrillers and mysteries and stuff that I'm picking up, I feel like are written by women, which I love. Also, yes, this comment that says these are mostly thrillers, I agree with that. Also, I've probably been squinting so much. Oops. People don't necessarily love this list. This is interesting. I don't think that this is a list that is supposed to say these are the best of the best. Like, it says readers' favorites. So I think it's always interesting to see what people are reading the most, what people are like putting on their want to read the most. I do think that some of these are not whodunits. And I think that a book can be a thriller and a whodunit, but I don't think that they are necessarily one and the same. It's an interesting list. I don't know if I'm like clamoring to read any of the ones that I didn't read already. I do want to read Don't Let Her Stay and possibly The Soulmate. I think that one was pretty popular. Notes on an Execution, The Family Remains. Yeah, I think those are the ones I'm still interested in. If you have read any of the ones that I have not and you think I would like it, please let me know. Also, I would love to know your thoughts on these just in general. If you've read any of these and you're like, that's not a whodunit, or just general thoughts. I just thought this would be interesting to go through. Goodreads has put out a couple of these lists. I know that there's one for fantasy and for romance, I think. So I just thought it would be fun to check it out and to see what the reader's favorite 48 books of the last 3 years have been. Because I'm nosy. Thanks for hanging out with me and looking at this list together. If you made it to the end and want to leave me an emoji to say you're here, you can leave me a book stack emoji. And I hope to see you soon. Bye.